All of you. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. As we take it to the next level with the Ansar. All of you. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. As we take it to the next level with the Ansar. All of you. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. As we take it to the next level with the Ansar. All of you. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. As we take it to the next. We gotta change this up here. Hold on. How y'all doing today? It's all G. So it's gonna take a little while to get these, things out the way. But at the same time, we gotta be smarter now. We got to embrace. We got to get everybody from the planet Earth that is righteous, those who are doing good deeds. We have to evaluate everyone. We have to become the judges. I am the judge. I am the judge. Everybody know that I am the judge. Okay. And if you're not, then you have to sit your ass down and listen. If you did great works in your lifetime and you can't see to do no other great works, your job is finished. You either retire or you get your ass on the end of the line. You try to love, right? And you get the proper understanding of who you are and how to walk and talk, move and groove, and how to be who you're supposed to be. Is certain things is uh, etiquette. It's certain things is fitra. You know, if you don't know fitra, and that's just maintaining the body. You see, that's maintaining the body. If you don't know that you're offensive to people, something is wrong. If you don't know that you're an eyesore, if you don't know that your voice is irritating because the things that you're saying is not productive but counterproductive, that type of stuff is very important. Very, very, very important. And you have to learn what is truly going on. Once you learn what's going on, then you can be real. Other than that, you can't be real. Everybody wanna be somebody. Everybody wanna say what they need to say. This is how we do. This is how we do. This is how we play. You see, these teachings, this right here, I come with the inheritance, right, for all of you, from the things that your mama and your daddy did long time before you. That's it. You see, we are the gifters. See, the true gifters. And what we're here to do is to teach you. Google Live. Right. It's it's like so many things that's going on.
Black of the very darkest color owing to the absence of or complete absorption of light, the opposite of white.
They say black is the opposite of white, right? And that particular statement right there, when people see that, they say black is the opposite of white. These are words. These are words that is dealt with as in your sensors, with seeing, hearing, taste, smelling, and feeling, is words, vibrations. It's vibrations that's being expressed. Now, these vibrations is being expressed when they talk about black is translated words that's watered down from the original. The original is aswad. When you say aswad, then you're talking about as, right, as is, and then you're talking about wad or wadu, right, which you're talking about as the love. Now you're talking about the darkness, which they call black. Now, in the political realm, they're not talking about black. They're talking about blocking you. And that's the only way they can have control over you. And the control is the continual rule. You see? Control is two words, continual rule over you. So when they have control over you by telling you that you are black and that black is the opposite of white, and it's a difference, because what happened, like the black entails the white. That's when it said it was darkness and then there was light, and in darkness it was peace. And then when the light came, the light brought chaos. The light brought friction and action and confusion on this particular plane, which is what they call the physical plane. The physical plane is the lowest and slowest of all in existence. So these things right here is from the spiritual aspect. Now you had different movements on the ground or different movements on the earth as what they call the new souls was returning and always returned. But at the time, we had someone that was greater or the most high, right, in the flesh that was teaching, right? And he was the best of the best at that particular time. And at that particular time, he was gathering information, right, from what we say research. You see, when you gather information from research, you're talking about the knowledge. You see, it's alleged to this known fact, and now you're talking about something that happened and something that was written, something that was put down. So what happened was when it was a certain time when this knowledge became obsolete because other entities had came back, and that was talked about in the writings of a Shah, 306,000 years to leave, 306,000 years to come back, which is 7,200 years. That 200 years was the years of development where the Anunnaki or the Elohim, or what we call now angels, or what you would call angels, stayed on the planet because they didn't all leave at the same time. The leaving and the coming, which we will be. Now, this particular type of conversation or conversion with the words and the actions will not penetrate because those realistic, they cannot get into themselves to see who they truly are, which is a living soul. And then the living soul is only a word. So you're more than a living soul. And the best way to express that in science is electromagnetic energy or energy. And then when you say energy, that is not the best way to say it because you say en, which is forget about it or the end of something. So you would say in. And then when you say you're actually saying fire. You see, and that's one physical form of energy. You see, because you have other energies as what we call like radio waves, that's energy. You know, you have different types of energy. So when we talk about the fire, we're talking about the physical burning of a physical something and basically in a chemical change, converting yourself back into carbon. Okay. And this is just off the surface. So now, what we are getting ready to do that's already been done is to formulate unity in the community. So to do this, it has to be an overlapping, and and that's where the humble effect come in. The humble effect is the overlapping of all the great teachings, right? Such as Noble Drew Ali, such as Marcus Garvey, such as Elijah Muhammad, and the teachings that came from these three people, as I say. Then you say the teachings of Martin Luther King, right? And then prior to that, that's on the side of what they call the melanated side. You see, and then you have other teachings as the original Martin Luther, right, which was the Protestant, right, and then you had which Constantine the Great, right, and then you had Alexandria, which Alexandria, right, then you had Napoleon. You see, all these teachings, right, now must come into play as we take and pick and choose what is needed for certain people on the planet Earth. Everybody is not the same. You have different, just like when you have your Bible, you have different people from different places, and not only different places on Earth, but you have different people when it talks about Job and it's talking about different stars and different constellations and this. It speaks about astrology, and those in astrology got astronomy. Okay, that's a lot of information. So now a lot of Americans, Black Americans, Afro Americans, let me say, I'm not going to say the sovereign Indians. I'm not talking about the people of Wichita. I'm not talking about the Naka sovereign or any sovereign Indians that stayed in place on the reservation. We're not talking about that. What we're talking about is those that's in the cities, those in the country, you know, as far as what we call urban areas, those in the settings of the agriculture, you know, these are we talking about. We talking about those who came over here as indentured servants, was giving land grants. You see, we're talking about those who were who were cursed in the caves of Europe, which is written in our scriptures and not in the scriptures that was created from Constantine when he took the scholars and he made these books, these 72 books, and then the Protestant got the 66 books, and then there was more books. That is not the issue. The issue right now is appreciation. So you say, well, how can you appreciate if you always had? So those children that's of the royal bloodline that's mentioned on both sides, if you was privy to everything, you would be lacking in empathy. You would be because you would have to keep that. You would have to keep that facade. You have to keep that. That's the lifestyle. We're back. Yeah. So so we have a series of Wisdom say, yo, you know what? This was a journey. This was a journey. This was a journey. Big shout out to Doc York. That is many, not Dr. York, not Dr. York, the singer, the hustler. Big shout out to Dr. York, Doc York. Big shout out to Wiley. He like to call Wiley 786. Okay. Big shout out to the 901 crew. Big shout out to 8L crew. Big shout out to BK all day. Big shout out to BX. Big shout out to NYC. Big shout out to Uptown. Big shout out to Harlem, right? St. Nicholas, 125th Street, where we established, and those who was coming through from Africa, from Ghana, West Africa, from Liberia, from whatever, a way for them to feed their families. We encouraged, we helped, we embraced, we gave, and we showed them, the way. We were their guides here. We established many things. We were the medicine men, meaning that we dealt with different things, different herbal ways of living. Uh, we were trying to teach people as in America, and then giving the information, what we call the light. The light was considered to be the intellect. The light was considered to be the intellect for those, the guiding factor, like the flashlight, the light, flashlight, then the music, all those in the music industries, um, all those who was basically our brothers and our sisters. Now, the word brother is actually from the word brothel, and the word sister is not the proper word, is ish or bayat. So as we start to teach again, we will incorporate those words that's more in appreciation, that has a more higher standings. So we won't act when people say, Mo, yo bro, yo bro, yo bro, yo bro, yo brother, you my brother, and then you know that the word is Ben or Ibn or Waladan, and that, we actually have a new language, and that's why we have a circle of righteousness. And those that were spent off and couldn't hold on to the rope and they were spent off, and they spent off, and then they planted their seed firmly. They watered their seed. They took care of what they had, and then they sprout out. That's where we have different degrees of the royal righteous circle. So that's the R and R. It used to be railroad, where they railroad you into back into slavery. Now we're saying R and R, which is the royal and the righteous. Righteous Girls, which is our anthem that should go viral with this mission. Sister, sister, brother, brother, learn, live with one another, which brings forth an opportunity of putting yourself behind the eight, which is infinity, utilizing the nine, which is cipher and the beginning again, or the fierce, the first. Okay, so we have a whole way of is of this new truth that has been new since 1970, 1977, at its peak, and you can call me Abdul. How about that? You can call me Abdul. Okay, okay. You can call me Mumin. You can call me Abdul. But actually, Skate Master Spark. That's another family that's out there with the eight, and the rolling with the eight, the roller skates, and that was a method of maintaining stability, being a social network that was not of the norm. And by that I mean not sending you to the churches, you to the mosque, not sending you to those institutions that was actually put there for your demise, put there for your destruction, put there so you could be programmed inappropriately, put there so you can be controlled, instead of you being the good, you being the God, you being the overseer of the life that you look out onto in that same darkness. You being in that same darkness, and you being that light that now shines. You see, that's outside, and you controlling, you being that master, and these are the things that we teach. We don't teach you to, I'm not your leader, in the way that you would think. The way leader or the name leader is only to Leal, or which means the source, and aid, Ada. Ada is to aid. Aid is to help you, to lead you to the source within you, not the source outside of you. Now, a lot of people uh, of the royal bloodline, that's been proven that their DNA can works, and that they have as a child done great works by teaching the world. You have taught the world. Was not everyone on the planet. Now we have the world was those who were tricked into be led into war. There's WOR, which was war. LD meant led into war. So that's the world. That was the world. When we talk about globalization, the action of the globe, or the nation of the globe under one rule, right? That is reality. That is something that is not done by you see, that is done by what we call the unseen. And in that unseen being done, it is done and it is given unto those who took authority, had authority, have authority for their degree. And those who succumb to them instead of themselves and bringing themselves to who they are, that's when the terminology of you being lazy, the terminology of you being selfish, greedy, or materialistic, stuck into your body, thinking about your body instead of thinking about preparing the path in the light to stop the confusion of chaos. Now, it was a lot and many of those who did not have the discipline. And now we're talking global now. We're not talking about the people in the black community. We're not talking about the people in the white community. We're not talking about the people in the secret orders. We're not talking about the skull and the bones. We're not talking about the boule. We're talking about the civilization of the planet Earth. We're talking about the answers to the first, and then putting the world in its proper natural order so we can have the proper globalization under the form or the platform one nation under the group. Now, other people would say the Big Brother system, it was many names to go, UNICEF, it was many programs under about that slick jiggy jiggy, one nation under the groove that is connected. So those of certain tribes will keep their position because their position will only be overtaken by those within their organs. That's like your liver not working properly. So if your liver's not working properly and something comes and you get the medication to make changes of your liver and your cells in the body start working properly, called medication. From the medication, we get MIDI action. From the MIDI action, we get what we call magi or magical. You see, and from the magi, we get those what we call high priests. So those, when we talking about the Elohim, just take you to the host of the planet. When we talk about the Elohim, um, overlooked because the facts, the fact finders were on their way to completing a circle of what was, what is, what does, what how, what used to be, and how things got changed. Not knowing that change was only for those on this lower abode. Change was never done what we call as above, so below, everything generated is opposite. Change was only in the mindset, the programming of certain people, those who allowed themselves change, and those who fought, those who were diligent and took the instruction of the bloodline of the Prophet Muhammad and took the instructions of other prophets that proved the high existence, proved the gateway, proved the path, proved the Siratul Mustaqim. Those who were diligently got a glimpse, surge of the power of the might. You got a surge of who they truly was. The veil came off of their eyes. And with the veils coming off their eyes, they went to look for those who should have been helpful, but there was no help. And because there was no help, they went into the pitfalls and the traps of those who were the overseers, those who were given a title, Title, which is Elite, elite. The word title is the same formation, same letters as elite. So they were giving who gave them a prescribed or prescript, a written chemical to stop them from embracing the light. So what's happening now? They went to the doctor. And the doc was to take out, like if you late for your work, your forced labor, a certain amount, they would dock you. So now the tour was 8 hours or 3/8 hour cycle for the day of the humans. So the doctor was the one who had the permission to take you out the fields, the one that had the permission to test you and see if you was ailing or whatever. They were called physicians because they came in and they took out. They came in, if you had a sore, they cut you out, incision. They were not the true healers. So now you had your elite, the ones telling you what to do instead of you finding out. So they ended the energy when those that came back through the comets that was seen, and those who were dealing with the meteorologists, the astronomers, those who look at the sky and try to determine what is going on Earth. So as we came here to help those who were in control, not in their best interests, because they had their foundation was not the foundation that would be allowed in the world of righteousness. So we had to wait many generations. Well, what is a generation? A generation is the genes. A generation is new vessels to maintain this information. What you call now children, as what we were taught to say, Mu'minun and Mu'minetis. And from the Mu'minun and Mu'minetis, we were linked into a thriving reality of the fighters who were here since Adam, as those who on another level will say Adam is the people of the ground. Those who on one level will say Atum represent the first, like Tuhiti, Osiris, and those will say in a scientific Adam is each building blocks of the physical manifestation of the body. Have different terminologies, different discernments of different people. So now what we are here to do is take what you have and can either continue in purity or learn, go in the back of the line and learn what you need to do to be straight, to be on the right path. It's called the cleansing of your heart, which is the mid part of who you are, which deals with your emotions. And once your emotions is put in discipline, then you will be able to deal with your intellect. But as long as the women who are the overseers to this earth and those who were given the procreation ability, as long as you are emotional and have procreated in your womb, yours to be better than those that you see, then you have an emotional breakdown, a problem. You're not dealing with the intellect to be supreme. Those of you who do not care, which from the word Quraysh or charis, Christ, Christos, those who do not care and give their children away to other tribes are wrong. Those who give their children away, and the other tribes make it convenience subliminally by the color schemes. The color scheme is yellow for Elo. The Elo is the host of the planet. So as your children are kidnapped and put into a yellow bus, so the color represents intellect of the host of the planet. Not only the yellow represents the intellect of the host of the planet, which they do not have in their elementary schools, their day schools, their high school, middle school, or their colleges that they call college. And the bus, BUS, is the business of them taking your children. Not only that, is the SUB or sub beneath programming your children to eventually take them away from their ability. We're going to leave you with that. We can go on and on. Welcome. We're back. Ansaru community development. We have many different projects that you can get involved into. We are dealing with this capitalistic ways. We're going to get our piece of the pie in America and then help our brothers and sisters all around the world. We will be getting into world banking. We will have our Elohim society. We will have our charismatic teachers. We will have everything that we are supposed to. So those who are paranoid about joining or running and hiding, let this be a fact that because you hear this, it's being done. And those that provided the service so you can hear this is being done. For those who manufactured the technology for this to operate and you to hear this, for those who place in the storage, the things that you can eat, is being done. For those who provide the water and cleanse the water and give you food, clothes, and shelter, it has been done. It's those who are greedy without any appreciation. See, one thing that we as Ansaru Allah were taught, we were taught simplicity. We were taught not greed. We were taught to live in a system that was passed to us from every generation. 100 years ago, 1,500 years ago, is a short time. It's like a day to the heavenly host. A little bit more than a day. See? And as we get to explain the unexplainable that couldn't be explained by those who was in the lead front, and they did what they did, but they already told you that when starts to popping, everybody's gonna be up and popping. And that's where that BK, BX, that money maker Manhattan, that's where that tri-state area, that's where the system down to the south to, ATL, Georgia, Alabama, up the flow, Miami, Florida, all that comes into play. Detroit, all that comes into play. But it had to be someone came back and said who he was. And I was there. Was you there? No. After the fact. And after the fact came after the fact of the now, which was perfected. Down of the bloodline, which was perfected. As those who were there give you the privilege of being able to give a divine to come back and to build. For those who will, for those who won't, for those who will, for those who won't. For those who did, and for those who stopped, for those who never did. So we'll have different people. So we have to rearrange and become the reapers. Get into your feelings, because see, people, I know people don't like me, but it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Because when you look at yourself, you're looking at me. When you look at me, you're looking at yourself. Is you don't have the reins, the discipline. So you may envy me at this moment, but let me explain something to you. You didn't want to go my route. That's why you could not and was not with me. The best didn't want to go my route, but I'm back. And I'm back doing the things that we all should do. I'm including you. It's okay today. There is no debates. I've seen the debaters. I've seen those who say what they say. And it's okay. You can say that. But we have an agenda, and now we're back. It was started years ago, and we had to venture off to do certain things. And now we're regrouping. The cream of the crop rising. The best of the best stepping up, stepping in. And like I said, big shout out to those in the street. Big shout out to those who were before me. on every degree of the righteous and royal circle. I'm not mad at you. Don't be mad at me, player. Play on, play right, learn. I say assalamu alaikum, rahmatullah ta'ala wa barakatuhu. And we're coming from who we are. Then we're coming to rise up. Once you are obedient and you go through the 5 stages of Islam, you graduate. And once you graduate, you be induced into the order. In this particular order, right, is the order of the new order, down the order of Gabriel. And then when you find out what Gabriel does, Gabriel is not the warring angel. He's the slick negotiator. Okay? And in this negotiation, he also has the powers that be. So, Gabriel, we saying Gabe, we saying Gobori, we saying big, and the biggest. We saying the B-I-G, the B-I-G, and the B-I-G-G-E-R. And diversify and do what we do. So look, I'm gonna get back with you. A couple of people, I just wanna, before I leave again, I done left and came back just that quick. Shout out Shabazz. Big shout out to Shabazz. Big shout out to because you will be a Saduk. That's gonna. So just call me Mumin Saduk. MZ. Okay, Saduk. Call me Saduk. That's what we're gonna use. We're gonna use the word Saduk. We're gonna move and groove as we do. Change and rearrange. This is what we do. Okay. We got Saduk CB. Saduk. You see, some people, as many things, we go through my story. We're going to see what happened. What took me so long to get there? Big shout out, Imam Isa. Big shout out to my friend, Dr. York. Right? We did it. And it's going to be all right. All the details. But I know one thing. It's going to be okay. Because we have the knowledge. Put this together. We resuscitated this world. We are the building blocks of this globalization, brother. We are planet. And with that, we, the rain, the wind, is my friend. Helps me maintain. So all those who got hit with water, the water is real. The natural order is real. And once the natural order of being unnatural, supernatural comes in, and that's where the protection kicks in. As people are doing right, and all those leaders that consider themselves black with on the other side of white, and in that connection on that road of white and black and white, and those is not other than that, what you identify with yourself, you will feel the pains of the host of the planet. Now, those leaders that join the political ranks and join in religion, the branch of political religion, all the things like that, those knew from the many births that occurs through the scientific data, meteorologists. So don't claim to be what you're not, because you will only go so far, and then after that you'll be dropped off. So the lifestyle that many of you are living is wrong. The whole lifestyle is wrong. And as we, from the Ansaru development community, and the many ways that we will explain, it's already in those who know. It's just that it wasn't time to give that love and let your love shine. Even though the music as a reference point, it was not your time to shine. Those who didn't have the patience kept saying, "Oh man, it's my time. Oh man, I want to shine. It's my time. It's my time. It's my time." It was not your time. See? And with faith in works, true intentions, and action, which is the works, you are, you have, you are great. It had nothing to do with the monetary system, but the monetary system was also a way of peace. Now, those greedy people who want your money, your time, they want your sex, they will always tell you that the monetary system is not the way because of the lifestyle of other people. But we have a simple lifestyle. And this simple lifestyle is the building blocks of a great force. You cannot be entertained playing games on the computer and receive the energies from, just to say, the energies from each other, the energies that surround the energy grid of the earth, or the energies that's outside and beyond the sun. You cannot be entertained with the physical things to get the spiritual. The spiritual make manifest the physical. So those traps that you once thought was a higher lifestyle, those big houses, those man-shun, you see, those castaways or castles, those who went apartment, those who are not in the or the umat or the common unity of doing things together and learning the proper procedure of maintaining protection, maintaining to be erected, maintaining to have stability, maintaining to deal with any society in any location around the planet or the planet. There is no argument about anything. It's just clarification. It's called clarification, to make clear. And then when you have clarification and everything, there's no obstacles, then you have clairvoyance. Now you're stepping into your next extra. Now you're starting to be special. And you started to perceive and achieve, to gain and earn from learning how to have discipline. To be disciplined, you must be a disciple. To be a disciple, you must have a good teacher. And to have a good teacher, your teacher must follow and learn from those who were great. Take that and multiply, diversify, and use that as a ladder to ascend in your thoughts, to ascend in your teachings, you're dealing with others, and to treat others as you would treat yourself. So it's time to break this one down and to start up anew. I will be start the teaching. That's what I do. And by the time I give you the foundation, that newfound and that action foundation, right, then we will go and negotiate.